Well, it's Friday. Made it through another week. And I got my buddy Cole with me here to walk on this trail here. It's a different spot from where we were yesterday. I like to switch it up, see something new, something different. But while we're doing this walk, I'd like to share something with you guys about at work and whatever. I'm on a job, and you've been watching my channel for any period of time. You know that I don't drink or smoke or do any drugs or anything like that. And I don't have any kids or any ex-wives or no stuff like that that most people fall into that are going to be financial burdens on you. And I'm working with a bunch of younger guys, and I don't know, it's something about people's spirit. I guess they can tell when you don't drink or smoke or anything, because most everybody drinks, smokes, does drugs, has kids, either legitimate or illegitimate. So if you don't, and somebody, for the mere fact that somebody would ask you if you drink or smoke or do drugs, or if you have kids or not, that's telling you right there that they already assume that you don't, when the norm is pretty much everybody has kids and everybody drinks and everybody smokes and everybody does drugs. So, and usually people can tell if you don't. People can tell by observing you and watching you if you drink or smoke or do drugs or not. If you got kids or not. People can tell just by observing you, you know. And the reason why they can tell is they can see that you don't have that cloud of despair hanging over you. You know, they can see the freedom in your face. They can tell that you're not burdened with a substance abuse problem, or you're not dependent on substances, or you're not being having the shit worried out of you by kids or ex-wives or crazy women in your life. People can tell. And a lot of times I'll just play it off. I'll just be like, I don't want to talk about money. Well, I'm just asking if you have any kids. I ain't talking about money. Oh yeah, you're talking about money, all right. Because for every kid you've got, that's $100,000 that you don't have. For every addiction you have, that's untold amount of money that you don't have. And not to mention all the heartache and despair that comes along with it. So people can tell, so they'll ask you. And I'll try to skirt the issue and whatever, because for the most part, even though these guys are in their 20s and 30s, and I'm probably like twice their age, I haven't fallen into any of those traps at the late age that I am. And they can tell by the way I move, the way I work, the way I get things done, the way I carry myself. Things don't seem to bother me. They can see that, and I could get on a soapbox and try and explain to them that you shouldn't drink, you shouldn't smoke, you shouldn't do drugs, because all the things that can happen, you shouldn't be going around getting all these girls pregnant, different, baby mamas and all that kind of stuff. But chances are they ain't gonna listen to that. They've heard it all before. They've heard it from school. They've heard it from their parents. They've heard it from other people. I mean, it's all over the internet. It's everywhere. They don't need to hear it from me. But I pretty much don't talk about it, because I figured it's a waste of time. I don't like wasting my time, and probably they're just gonna laugh anyway, And so, and besides the point, They probably already got kids. So they're already screwed, you know. Already, their life is already over, as far as I'm concerned. You know, um, I don't consider myself no great success. You know, I don't have a whole lot of money. I don't have a big fancy house or plenty of savings or nothing like that, whatever. But the little that I have because I don't have, the burden of substance abuse or kids, anything like that. I've saved a lot of money by not, indulging in that. And the money I saved is money that I didn't have to earn because I still would have had to eat up until this point. I still would have had to have a roof over my head up until this point. I still would have had to, have clothes on my back and everything else that goes along with that, with living. I would have had to made that money to be able to afford all of that. Anyway, that's a given. So having kids, that would have been an extra expense. Having a drug habit or alcohol addiction, that would have been an extra expense on top of that. So every expense you add to your life is more money that you have to spend. And more money that you have to spend is more money that you have to earn. That means you have to work extra hard to be able to afford to be an alcoholic, or to be able to afford to be a father, or so that's money that I didn't have to work for, so I didn't have to work as hard. And even though I worked really hard throughout my life, I've got something to show for it. Not much, but I'm good with what I got. I don't need much. I didn't, I'm happy with what I got. I don't need a whole lot of stuff. Well, most guys really don't. Guys, we don't really need a bunch of stuff. We don't need a bunch of bling bling or stuff to show off to other people. That's women. When you get a woman, she's gonna want a big house. She's gonna want a nice car. She's gonna want to stay home and let you go to work and kill your damn self. She's gonna want to have, all the latest furniture and everything, so she can show off to all her friends and family and stuff and everything. That's what makes you have to work your butt off to try to keep her in her standard of living. Not yours, You're a guy, you pretty much want your toys. You want your, a place to stay. You want a house / man cave, / bat cave. Pretty much every guy, that ever watched Batman wants a bat cave, wants a secret hideout, wants all the gadgets and toys that Batman has. This is how we are. Girls, they want what Barbie has. They want Barbie's big, huge house. They want all her clothes and everything, all her jewelry, all her little knickknacks and all that. And that stuff costs a lot of money to live that kind of a lifestyle. Now, if you work on a job where you make a lot of money, then that'll come easy to you. And you can keep that up and keep up that appearance and look like you've got a lot of money and have a lot of stuff for a while. But it's hard to keep up those appearances. You got to maintain that amount of money and everything. You can't make any mistakes. You can't make any bad investments. You can't get a divorce or get into some kind of trouble, drunk driving and end up killing somebody or something. That's going to greatly affect your life and your income and your mental state. Me, the best part of my day when I get off work is coming out here and taking this walk through these woods and looking at these trees change color and see how different it looks every day, and knowing that Cole has him a chance to run through the woods and enjoy himself. You know, after being cooped up in that house all day, he gets to run free and stretch his legs and have fun. And I get my exercise. I get to walk, lubricate my joints and everything while I'm doing so. Get fresh air into my lungs, and you know, this relaxes me, gets my blood pressure down. You know, now a lot of people can't appreciate this. They just look at this and just see, you know, say, well, that's another tree. Another tree is another tree. No big deal. Another patch of woods is another patch of woods. No big deal. But to me, it's an adventure. And I can enjoy the beauty of these trees and these different leaves and different plants and everything. And the different scenery. Taking a different route every day. Looking at different stuff. See, that's a squirrel's nest up there. And there's a tree there. You know, there's lots of stuff to see. And it's interesting. You know, another person may, you know, get off work and stop at the liquor store and get them some liquor or a couple of beers and sit down and look at sports on television and drink their beer. Now, that's their reality. It's not my reality. I'm perfectly happy with sitting on the couch watching a YouTube channel or two and eating a bag of chips and drinking a soda pop. That's my idea of a good evening, you know. But that's everybody's, you know, you gotta choose your poison pretty much, you know. And taking a whole different route today. So at this point, I'm effectively lost because I don't know where I am. I just been following Cole. And I'm just gonna see where it leads us. This is a pretty wide path through here. So I could probably go back the way I came and end up finding, you know, the main trail to get back to where I was. But this is interesting. Leaves are falling down. Very interesting. But on the job today, guys are dragging around. You know, just, you know, it's Friday. It's been a long week. I can understand. But then we were sitting outside and I saw them, you know, somebody had a bag and they had a bottle of liquor in it. And they were drinking it. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, you guys go ahead. You know, they're grown men. They can do what they want to do. So they're like, you drink? Like, no, man, you go ahead. I don't have that many problems. You know, you never know why people are drinking or why people are smoking or doing drugs. You don't know their story. You know, you can't judge other people by the stuff they got going on. I don't have the problems these people probably have. You know, my only problem is trying to, you know, get enough money saved up to go to Florida for the winter. You know, a lot of these guys, they never went camping before. They don't know what the great outdoors look like. All they know is the city. That's all they ever seen. Only place they ever been in the city where they live. You know, out here in these woods, they'd be terrified. And even though I'm effectively lost right now, I've really never been in this area before. These trails are crisscrossing back and forth from one way to the next. I can find my way back. You know, those guys would need a search party to come out here and get them out of here. They'd be wandering around in circles for hours. But I enjoy this. I'm seeing different scenery. I'm seeing different stuff. And Cole, he pretty much knows where he's at. He's trying to confuse me because he knows the longer we're out here, the longer he gets to run around and play. So if he can get me lost out here, he will definitely do it. And that's what he's trying to do. That's why he's doing such odd twists and turns through here. But he don't know who he's dealing with. He ain't gonna get me lost. I know my way back. I can find my way back. Because as long as I can see that sun over there, and I know that it sets in the west, and I know that the car is parked east of where I am, I'm good. I'll get back to where we're going, where we were. No problem. So he can twist me up all he wants. He's not gonna get me lost. But anyway, we're making our way through here. And this is an interesting neck of the woods here. I mean, I'm seeing all kinds of different stuff that I've never seen before. Because like I said, we never came this way before. I pretty much let him lead the way. There's a tree that's falling across the path here. So I know nobody's been driving through here for a while. And if I take a closer look at the tree, this ain't something that just recently fell. I can tell that it's been down here for a while because that would be a little fresh if it had been recently fallen. So this isn't a very well maintained trail here. Main trails, they get cleared out as soon as something falls across them. But I'm off the beaten path over here. Check this out. There's a bench right here. A little lookout spot where you can sit down here and look out over into this ravine here. Pretty interesting. I guess when this was built, the view was a lot more scenic. You could probably see a lot more over there. It's kind of thick now. But good day with the friends. I guess this is a tribute to that person. Do not enter. Bird nesting area. Do not enter area beyond this sign. Harming wild birds of prey is a violation of state of federal law. Okay, good to know. I won't be bothering any birds. Another tree across the trail. And there's some wetlands over in there. I can see water back over there. It's probably dammed up because of the beavers. But anyway, I guess this message for the day is, if you don't have to drink or smoke or do drugs to get through life. I know life is a bitch, it's hard, and people pretty much aren't shit. And sometimes I guess some people need drugs or alcohol to cope with those kind of things. I personally don't. I just limit my exposure to people. I keep people out of my life. I keep people at a distance. That way they don't get on my nerves. And life, other things, pretty much your suffering and your hardships are pretty much of your own making. You make stupid mistakes and do stupid stuff, you're gonna end up, having a messed up life. There's a main road there I've managed to stumble up on. So I pretty much know where I am now. I just never knew that trail would bring me here, but it did. But I know where I am. So I'm not gonna go that way. We get back to the truck way too fast. I want to give him enough time to stretch his legs, so we're gonna head back on this path, going back this way. But yeah, I told you Cole can't get me lost. But he's just following his nose. just exploring. I like to see him able to do that. Most people's dogs don't get to do this every day, you know, because most people are too busy. I don't know why people bother getting a dog if you don't have time to take him out and do this, you know. But I really had no intention of getting a dog until I was retired, so I'd have time to be able to do this every day. But just so happens that I got cold before I retired. But I think that was a good choice, though. I'm glad I did it, because if I hadn't got him, I probably wouldn't have made it to retirement. I probably would have had a heart attack or a stroke long before that happened, because he pretty much calms my nerves, and he gets me to where I'm having a healthy lifestyle, because I'm coming out here walking every day. That's huge. That helps you out when you get exercise, you know, and come out and walk every day. And plus, I eat bad food, so everything that I eat that's bad, I pretty much share with him. So for every bite that he gets, that's a bite that I don't get. So that's cutting down on the bad food that I'm eating, because he's eating it. You know, for every Big Mac I eat, I may only eat like 3/4 of it. He gets the other quarter. So that cuts down on my intake of bad food, because, you know, he gets some of it. And it ain't gonna hurt him as much as it would hurt me. But it's all good. And he's got cuckabubs on him from running in them bushes. Good thing he's got his vest on there, on the vest. I'm glad I got him that vest. That vest keeps him from getting scraped up and scratched when he's running through these woods and stuff. And it keeps him from getting parasites on him, you know, like ticks and everything. His collar pretty much does a good job on that too. But anyway, I know I talk a lot of negativity when it comes to drugs and alcohol, and the mere fact of having kids, you know. But I've seen so many people lives ruined by drugs, alcohol, and being attached to crazy women, and having more kids than they can afford, and not taking care of the kids they got, and they end up getting their license taken and everything, because they're not paying child support and all that. You know, they're pretty much getting what they deserve. I don't feel sorry for them. You know, these guys cry that women have done this to them, women have done that to them, and I know guys' attitude when it comes to women. The guys are selfish, and they just want to get their jollies off, and they don't want any of the consequences that go along with it. And they're suffering the consequences. You play the game, you're gonna suffer the consequences if you lose, you know. But a lot of people aren't willing to fess up to the consequences. I know the consequences. That's why I don't play the games. You know, I'm glad of the choices I made. If you got yourself in that situation where you got a couple of kids, but with that being said, Cole and I are almost at a spot where I remember that a little picnic area right there. I know exactly where I am now. Not quite sure how I ended up getting here, but I know where I am, and I know how to get back to the truck from here. But That's an interesting little path we took. I might have to keep that in mind. That's a nice little trail we went on. It was pretty enjoyable. But anyway, Cole and I are going to make our way back to the truck. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.